Reading books and doing small social media tasks and getting paid for both. That is what Deservve claims to offer. And someone in the comments here on my channel asked me to look into it. So I signed up and had a proper look. And in this video, I want to show you exactly what it offers, how it works, and whether it's worth joining. So let's start by going over who can join, and everyone, basically no matter where you live, seems to be able to join. But just by looking at the website, it can be a little bit difficult to find out exactly what it offers. It just says, like, for example, get paid to explore, engage, what discover, but like, what does this actually mean? And then complete earning path, tackle assignments from brands and AI agents. So then you scroll down and there's not really that much more, but when you come further down here, you can see some examples. But again, what does it actually mean? So let me now log in and then we will take a closer look. So when you log in, it's not as straightforward as many other get paid to sites that I have joined, but you can go to the task section and then you can choose your earning path, because that's what they called it. And you can see what path you have there. There's different earning opportunities for different paths, but you have to start by choosing a path. And you can see that I have started this one, book reviewer, so that's in progress, and social promoter also there. And then you can see, for example, I would get $1 to $4 per book, and here per post what I would get for that. And then you can also read a little bit more about what it is. So for the book review, you would get a book that you would need to read, and then it says here that you don't actually have to read all of it. Where should you post it? It can, for example, be Amazon books. So it is people that want some reviews, so they give, in many cases, the books away to get some reviews, because that can help get more attention. And what I do like here is, for example, when it comes to the books, that it's not required to give a 5-star review, because platforms in general, that's manipulating the algorithm, and they do not allow that to say that, oh, you need to post a 5-star review, because that goes against the terms. So they say here, you don't have to do that. You have to be thoughtful. It has to be genuine, because that's what actually helps get attention there. So that's what it explains here, a little bit more about it. So you can do that. But again, I would say for this one here, you can see it can be $1 to $4 per book. So it's not like for the money as such. It's more if you really like reading, being introduced to new types of books, then it can be worth considering. But for the money, like if you have to read a book and you would get up to $4, so up to, that also means that's a maximum. And in most cases, especially when you first start out, that's not what you should expect. So that's just something to keep in mind. And also you can see the other option I currently have is this social promoter. So that's where you need to then get paid to follow and engage with brands and creators on socials. In general, I really always stay away for this type of social media task, because I don't want to like get paid to follow, like, or so, because that's usually helping to manipulate algorithms. In most cases goes against the terms of the different social media platforms, because they of course want to avoid that. And you don't also know, like, you definitely have to be critical if you do it, because you don't want to end up helping to manipulate an algorithm to show someone that actually shares content that is not worth it. Also, you risk your account, because if a social media platform, let's say Instagram or something like that, finds out that you're doing this, then you risk that you actually also get banned. So there are many reasons that this is, personally, again, that's just my opinion, not something that I would participate in, but that is also an option. You can see here they do say that more gaming paths are coming soon, but there's not really much more information about that. Maybe by the time you watch this, more are available. But no matter what, one thing you need to keep in mind is that when you apply for these here, there's a whole process. So you first need to choose the path, and then you need to set it up, and then you get access to the actually tasks for each of them. You can see, for example, here there's a Facebook, there's Instagram, all these, and you can see the exact rewards, and for the books also here. But it also says here that before you can actually get access to them, you need to verify your identity, and you need to do that by sharing your phone number. And that's something that many platforms of course ask you to do to avoid scams and all that. But I also know many of you don't like that, and personally I also prefer when you can actually see the exact tasks, everything else, before you have to do it. But here you do need to do that before you can actually start earning, or before you can see the actual task. So keep that in mind. The only thing you can see before is by clicking it. You can just see the same that is basically says here what you would get. But overall, the earnings from what I have seen here is not very high. Some of the tasks, something that I definitely would not do, and overall just not very high pay, but that's not unusual for this type of work. So nothing unusual about that. And I know some people like this type of work, and then it can be worth considering, but you of course need to do it with the right expectations and be willing to verify your identity, put in quite a lot of effort for not a lot of pay. But before deciding, also let's talk about how you can also get paid, because that's of course also very important to keep in mind before deciding whether this is for you or not. So I now jump to the cash out section, and you can see the minimum withdrawal is $5, so a relatively low payout threshold. So I like that, but as you can see, I've not been able to actually reach that because I decided not actually to participate in these tasks, because again, I've tested hundreds of ways to make money online. So when I test a new platform, I of course am very critical about the type of task, because I know about so many different platforms. So I really prioritize my time. So some of them I don't want to participate in because it's just a type of task that I don't support. Others I just don't find worth the time, but that's my personal opinion. But overall, I would say $5, it's a fair payout threshold, so definitely fine, but still can take some patience. In most cases, just reading an entire book and writing a review about it would not even get you to the threshold. So that's just something to keep in mind. But what can you then redeem? Well, gift cards, different gift cards, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App transfers, Visa, MasterCard, charity donations, good payout options. But if you have done it yourself or decide to do it, please share below also, what have you chosen to get paid with? Did you manage to reach the payout threshold? How many tasks did it take? How long did it take? I would love to hear your experiences also. So to sum it all up, after having taken a look, because some of you asked, then my verdict is that it looks like a decent platform, but it's just not for me, because for me personally, it's not worth it for this pay you can get, and it's not also really the type of task I prefer doing online, and some of them is just some that I also just really do not want to participate in. But we all have different opinions, different preferences, so when you asked about it, I wanted to test it. This is my opinion about it, my experiences. If you have other experiences, please feel free to share them in a comment, and now you know what it's all about, and then you can decide for yourself whether you think it's worth it for you or not. If you don't think it's worth it, I also do have a list on my website of other microtask platforms, also other get paid to sites, so I'll leave links to that below so you can check that. I also do have a video here on my channel, I'll leave that next to me, where you can see more about different ways to make money online without spending a dime. So that is a video that will give you a lot of information about other free ways to earn if that's what you're interested in. So I hope this helped, and if you did, make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.